and they set the record at 128. Well, then the Swedish guys came along, and they really just did something stupid. They took a fiberglass hood off of a Husqvarna and cut it in half and put it over a sprint car and called it a mower.
Well, yeah, there you go.
And it's on YouTube, and all the people that are in the realm of what we call real mower racers are all kind of laughing at that, even though Guinness claims it to be the fastest mower in the world. But we've decided that since the British kind of stepped out and they used a motorcycle engine, I have a really good advantage here locally. We've got a couple of very great motorcycle guys, Johnny Turbo with Exoticycle, who currently holds the world record in the fastest street bike. He just won 2 weeks ago at just shy of 200 mile an hour on a legitimate street bike. No wheelie bars, mild extension, no power additors. That's 100% motor. He went 196.5 or something like that. Yeah. And he won the IDVL and did real well. And then we've got another guy in town who road races. He's a 3-time Grand National Superbike champion, and that's Bob Fisher with Roaring Toys, who manufactures a lot of his own parts. So what we've done is we've built one of our chrome moly tube chassis mowers, Alta spec, with a Husqvarna hood and fenders and whatnot, and it is currently holding a 2012 Hayabusa GSXR 1300 motor in it. It produces 202 horse at the crank.
Yeah. Wow. I tell you what, Doc, we're going to take a quick break because I know you need to catch a breath. So
all right.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, reestablish, and we're going to come back and talk about DF2ST on Motormouth Radio. Ray Guarino, Joe D. We got Doc, and I think we still got Dave on the other side.
He's there. He's with me. We're at the office.
All right, boys. In just to throw it to you, we're going to go back to Gator Country, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Keep it where you got it.
Hey, man, thanks for the drinks.
Keep them coming.
I appreciate that. I'll get you back next time.
Thank you kindly.
So what's your favorite kind of music?
I like both kinds of music, country and western.
I feel that. You know, if that is the case, you can check out The Country Show on 90.3 WHPC from 10 to 12 on Fridays.
Feeling right at home here.
Well, yeah, man, that's the point.
Taking the point.
No, McCree, it's fine. You're not in a match right now.
Take cover.
From what?
You seem familiar. And I killed you before.
I taught you everything you know.
Now, guys, I'm sure whatever this is, I'm sure it can be talked out. Okay, guess not.
I didn't teach you all my tricks.
Watch and learn.
All right, so diplomacy's out of the question. In that case, I'm just going to go. Check out The Country Show from 10 to 12 on Fridays. I'm your host, Colton Murray, on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Oh, they're shooting. Oh, no. Nope. I'm out. Bye.
All right, we got back to Motormouth Radio, Ray Guarino, Joe D. We're back to Gator Country with Doc and Dave down in Sarasota. You still with us, boys?
Absolutely.
All right, so tell us about this DF2TS, because it took me a while to get that rolling off my tongue.
Okay, well, it started out as a side project, and DF2TS Customs is a acronym for Doc the Fabricator to the Stars. And there's a DJ here locally that I've known for about 35 years, Bubba the Love Sponge. He's nationally syndicated, and he's kind of a shock jock, but he currently holds the largest fine by the FCC. That's a really stupid reason why, but he does some pretty crazy stunts, and I build probably 90% of all the apparatuses, shall we say, for the stunts. I also built his studio, his signs, the stripper pole, the bar, the bandstand, and the shower.
The shower, yes. The shower. I guess the takeaway from this is if you can fabricate, if you can build, you can work in almost any venue and pick up some work.
Absolutely. And I'm an engineer during the day. I mean, I have a full-time, legitimate 40-hour-a-week job, and then I was doing so much odd side work that I had to step up and make it a legit situation. I mean, we've done probably one of our biggest jobs that we've done that's nationally recognized. We did something for Selby Gardens. We had some artwork come over, and it was stained glass from the 1700s out of a church, and they wanted it displayed in the atrium. And the largest piece was 8 wide and 21 feet tall.
Whoa.
I understand this is irreplaceable type stuff. Now, granted, the stuff we did was what's called an acetate transfer. It wasn't the exact glass, but it was the duplicate of the glass that was put together by the family. We had to build the frames and install this, and that seems like an easy job, but there was 14 panels, and we had 36 hours which to install it. And did I mention you had to step over plants, a stream, because it's inside of a huge glass atrium with all the orchids and everything else, and we couldn't disturb the
Perfect
plants while
conditions.
doing it.
Yeah.
So we had to get pretty creative on how we had to put the posts up and deal with that. So that's up. But then on the flip side, we did a job for a gentleman named Bello Knock, who is a world famous stunt guy, clown, and he did a big deal out at the Bellagio where he did 15 stunts in 15 minutes. And the last stunt was he got shot out of a cannon over the top of a legitimate running helicopter.
That I heard
there had
about,
to be certain modifications done to the helicopter that the Bellagio asked for. And if you go onto our website, on our Facebook page, you can actually
I'm
see
looking
the
at it right
helicopter
now. Yeah, wow.
in its running and what it had to do and what we had to do to make it work. And that was another one of these, you've got 4 days and it has to be on a semi to be shipped out to Vegas type thing.
So, Doc, fabrication obviously runs through your veins, and it's something you do quite well. I wonder if Dave can tie that in with some of the welding stuff that we want to talk about today as well, that you guys handle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got in Dave. Let me bring people up to speed. Dave is a unique individual. As he's sitting here next to me, he'll probably smack me a couple times. He's from the Great White North. He has a mind that's beyond the normal realm of people, and he decided that he wanted to build a real strong welder, and he couldn't get anything available in the States. So here about 7.5 years ago, he was talking to me. He said, I'm going to make a trip to China, and I'm going to have these welders built, and I want you to tear them up for me, but I'm having them built to my specifications. He didn't just go over there and go, yeah, give me 100 of those, 100 of those, and 100 of those, put them in a container and ship them over.
Right.
So after a bunch of research and going back and forth 4 or 5 times, we came up with a basic line of welders. And in 7.5 years, I still currently have my first prototype TIG welder that I abuse quite well at the shop. With that being said, Mr. Dave Normandin.
Yeah, that's kind of a glorying of me, but that's okay. Basically, I looked at all that was available to the welding industry. I've been in the welding industry. I guess I should start with me a little bit. I'm the 7th one of 11 children from central Massachusetts in the Pittsburgh area. And my father was a real craftsman. He did work on stuff for MIT, for the space back in the early 50s and stuff like that. And he worked himself to the bone to support all the children, all of us. And he taught me how to do stick welding when I was about 12. He refused to teach me TIG welding because he said I had no patience. And I learned how to do it by the time I was about 16, 17. And he was right. I had no patience. I learned that later on in life. Meanwhile, my brothers and I have 4 other brothers, we invested in the company he was starting, and we worked and built a company that was ASME approved, AWS approved, mil-spec approved. We had many people welding for us, working for us, and we did work for, in your neck of the woods, it would be University of Rochester. We did a lot of the frame for the laser ray that they built in their big room. It had where they were trying to duplicate fission. We built stuff for boy, I'm not even going to be able to come up with some of the names, but University of California, Berkeley, all of them. on all stuff. We did stuff for the Air Force. We did stuff for submarines. We did stuff for aircraft carriers. We had a large shop, one of the big ones in the country.
That's kind of stuff they do out of Brookhaven Labs, too, with the colliders.
Brookhaven Labs, we actually did, that's the name I was trying to think of. We did the magnetic
the collider.
Circular parts for their accelerator.
Oh, the accelerator, yeah. I have some friends that work out there.
So I've got a real big basis of welding behind me and stuff, and I wrote a lot of procedures, and I personally had taken the test for over 50 different PQRs, and I was certifying people and everything else. So when I retired and moved down here, I decided to, my son had a shop down here, and I decided to help him out outfitting it and working with him. And that's when I got looking into the welders and everything else. And I just sat back one day and I said, this is crazy. There are machines out there that are good, that are a lot less expensive than the American ones, the American brands, and they're more energy efficient.
Right.
So I started doing a lot of research, and I did go to China and sat down with them, and the first machines I brought in were mildly modified. They didn't have to do much. They actually were pretty doggone good. Some of the machines I brought in I didn't have modified at all because they just blew my mind away. When you can take a machine that weighs 20-something pounds and actually 19 pounds and get 250 amps of DC out of it in a stick welder, while only pulling about 32 amps of power, it just blew my mind because I grew up with late 40s, 50s, and early 60s machines, and of course then I stayed with it, becoming newer. But I mean, the first TIG machine I ever ran weighed about 600 pounds, and here I am looking at the new TIG machine that we have here, and it weighs 74 pounds.
Right. Well, we're obviously talking about the difference in the old transformer-based machines and the new MOSFET technology.
And the interesting thing is transformer machines, although they're still made in China, it's not legal to sell them in China because they're too energy consumption. The energy consumption is so high that China realized early on that they couldn't support that type of growth. So they put their universities to work on solar, on HD lighting, on LED lighting, and on inverters for all types of technology.
Right.
And if you open some of these machines, you will see the chips in them. And when you the larger, more exorbitant chips that are in them, if you backtrack them, you'll find they're made in Colorado, they're made in Connecticut, they're made in Canada, they're made in Sun Valley in the USA.
Yeah.
So there were quite a few chips in these machines that are actually originally made in the U.S. that are then assembled on boards and put into these machines.
I got to say that Doc has covered this quite well on Thursday nights. We've hashed this out a number of times. And the thing that comes to light, I tell people all the time, is, when you get something that has a power supply or a wall transformer, say, wow, this is smaller and lighter. It doesn't really matter to you because it's easier to fit on your countertop or in your car. But when you see a welder that's so small and so light, your kid could carry, and your first thought, from guys of our generation is, it's got to be crap because it's so light.
Yes.
But not understanding that a lot of guys don't understand that technology of the MOSFET as opposed to transformer that lets it do that, and it just far surpasses anything that's it's definitely on par with, but surpasses in many ways the stuff that that came before it. So, all right, Dave, we're gonna take another quick break to reestablish here on Motor Mouth Radio. We're gonna come back. I want to talk more about these welders and get a little specific, so people up here may want to take advantage of some of the specials you guys are running. So,
okay,
hang with us. We'll be right back. Motor Mouth Radio. Ray Guarino, Joe D, on with Doc and Dave down from Sarasota. Keep it where you got it. Hang on for a sec.
Tell your friends about the Nassau Morning Madhouse. Hear what you're missing. Every man is always looking for a unique way to propose to their woman. One man, though, may have taken things a little too far. This one man, his girlfriend is a nurse, and he had an open wound in his stomach. The man, thinking he was creative, decided to hide the ring in his stomach wound.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
So the